today I'm going to show you one of my favorite places to use a Gua Sha tool on myself and my clients, but mostly myself. The area that I'm going to demonstrate on myself of one of my favorite places is going to be the upper trap. The upper trap is super common in a lot of folks that we see here, whether it's for, headaches, neck pain, a lot of shoulder issues, they have upper trap involvement. We're all working at our computer desk, shoulders are elevated, you're stressed out, physical jobs, all of those things can play into increased tension in the upper traps. Gua Sha tool is designed to increase blood flow into that area, help loosen the tissues, relax them so you don't notice them. That is the key with everything. Our body is designed to let us know when something's wrong. If everything's going smoothly, we don't really notice our body, which is good. So I'm going to show you next how I would use a Gua Sha tool on myself. All right, guys, so here is a back posterior view of me starting off using the Gua Sha tool. I'm starting off nice and slow with smooth strokes, not a lot of pressure there. I'm trying to warm up the tissues, kind of rub that coconut oil that I'm using as a lubricant in. The lubricant has no medicinal purposes. It's just there to help the tool glide over the skin, decrease irritation on the skin. But right now I'm kind of going through a process in my head. What I'm doing here is I'm kind of exploring for certain areas that are tender. I'm trying to warm up the whole area, but at the same time, I'm using the tool to see, is there any specific areas that jump out at me? And right now, a few seconds ago, I just turned the tool over so that way I could reach further back on my upper traps, hit a little bit of that levator scapula, get a little deeper into the supraspinatus, and again, trying to warm up those tissues and explore to see if there's any particular area that jumps out as tender to me. As you can notice, I'm going with smaller strokes now, so obviously I've kind of found an area that's a little bit more tight or tender, and I'm going to hang out there until a good bit of that discomfort has dissipated. And then once that discomfort's dissipated, I'll move on to a different spot. That's the common procedure that I use, and right now I've actually taken my right arm and braced it behind my left elbow to push my left arm back further. That way I can kind of explore even deeper down into other areas. And right now I've tilted my head to the left. The purpose of doing that is that puts tension on all of the muscles, and it makes it easier for me to find deeper, tender areas with the tool. When the tissues are under stress or under tension, it really brings to light areas that are more tender and more tight. I'm better able to find them with the tool and then hone in on those areas. Right now, I'm kind of up there at the top portion of the upper traps, and then also the splenius capitis, levator scapula, also hitting some of those nerves, possibly a little bit of the greater occipital nerve, the lesser occipital nerve. Those are commonly involved in upper trap tightness. And the great thing about the Gua Sha tool is it finds those as well. If there's an issue with that nerve, the tool will, and the pressure from the tool will help find those. But this area right here, you can see how red it's turning. And I'm still, it looks like at a kind of a mild to a moderate pressure, nothing real deep. But how red that is all turning tells me that that is an area that's fairly tight, congested, whatever you want to call it. There's something going on in there that I want to work out. I've went back down lower to the that part of the traps there that attaches to the shoulder blade, but also I can tell I'm using a deeper pressure. So I'm kind of, in my mind, I'm targeting that supraspinatus as well. And here's a front view of what it looks like. But right now I'm hitting more of the front portion of the upper traps. Also going to hit the brachial plexus a little bit. That's perfectly fine to hit that brachial plexus. I don't have any nerve issues. I don't have any thoracic outlet issues. But it will feel different when you hit over a group of nerves than a group of muscles. The best way I would describe it is it's just much more when you hit a group of nerves that are tight. it feels, just more sensitive. It's just a different kind of sensitivity and almost irritation. But I will use the same process with that. I will hit that area until a good bit of that discomfort has dissipated, and then I'll move on. So right now, I'm hitting more of the scalenes, a little bit of the sternocleidomastoid at that top portion there, but still just kind of exploring and trying to find areas. Again, there hitting the part of that brachial plexus. So here is a top-down view. You can see this is towards the end here. You can see in this situation how much petechiae has showed up. As I was doing this, I couldn't see what petechiae was going on, but the areas where that petechiae, or quote-unquote hickey, that hickey is shown up correlates to the areas where I felt the most tension. So you don't always see that, but in this situation here, it definitely correlates to where I was feeling most of the tension when I was using the Gua Sha tool on myself. That petechiae, for me, usually lasts maybe a day or two. Some folks, it may last a week. Everybody's a little bit different. But it eventually goes from red to a light brown or gray, and then just goes away. Right there, I'm hitting that lower portion of the, or kind of that, that lower portion of the upper traps that attaches into the shoulder blade, and hitting a little deeper to hit that supraspinatus as well. Obviously, I found a little something in there I want to work out. The other biggies that you can notice here is the direction. In this situation, I'm going with the direction that is easiest for me to use with my body. So there's all three views that you can see me working that upper trap, supraspinatus, levator scapula, and everything that's connected in between. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys kind of a day after, 1 day after, and a 2 day after update of how stuff feels after I did the demonstration of the Gua Sha on the right side of my neck. So that next morning, when I woke up, I could feel that these muscles were sore, which is very typical. Felt a little sore, kind of like they'd been doing a workout. Not necessarily what I would call pain. Everybody's different, but they were sore like they'd been worked out. It was a little bit tight, but not bad. Now this morning, the second morning afterwards, I woke up, I didn't feel any soreness on this right side whatsoever until I palpate in there. I notice it's still just a little bit sore, but I feel nothing at rest. And the biggie that I feel today is that mobility is significantly improved from what I feel when I do a left side bend, stretching that right side. It feels more flexible and more mobile than when I go to the right and therefore stretch the left side of my muscles on the neck. And generally, like most people, my right side is my problem side. So it's awesome that my problem side feels more loose, more free, feels like it can breathe better than my left side. So there's my day after, morning after update, and then 2 day after update on how I'm feeling since I did the Gua Sha treatment. And then I will also show you a quick picture of what the petechiae looks like afterwards. So we're approaching about a 48-hour mark, probably about 4D hour mark of what it looks like as that healing process continues. So there you go. Okay, guys, so here is an about 2 day after what the petechiae looks like on my neck after using the Gua Sha on it. Most of the petechiae is gone. You can still see some of that little bit of the bruising right there, kind of at the base of my skull, going down that upper traps. But for the most part, it's gone. So if I wanted to go out dancing or swimming, not likely that your average person is going to notice anything in there. But just wanted to give you guys a little 2 day update of how the recovery looks like of it. So there you go. Reach out with any questions, and this is just definitely something that I highly recommend and thoroughly enjoy doing. So enjoy.